Hey guys, Salfier here, back with another video on my third YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be talking about something I feel like no one really talks about in this game, and it's going to be the build and theory crafting that I think we all spend hundreds of hours doing or even thinking about while we're not playing the game. But it's one of the coolest aspects about this game, and it's so niche and so specific to just this game. So before this video gets started, please don't forget to drop your hate comments down below. It always boosts my algorithm. I totally encourage it all. I know people were going a little bit crazy on the last one, but you know, it just collects views, so go for it. But before we get into this, I do want to mention a couple of things, and that build crafting can be limited if you don't have all the expansions. Sorry to start it out that way. You can get into it right away free to play, but you are limited on everything that the game has to offer. Obviously, that's locked behind certain expansions. This game is not a subscription game. It's a buy one and then you get the game. It's constantly going on sale, so I totally encourage purchasing it when you have the opportunity. Now, the reason I say this is specific to Guild Wars 2 versus any other MMO with build crafting is because Guild Wars 2 has a very vast selection while still being extremely simplistic, and it helps a lot when build crafting, because when you're looking through it all, everything helps. Every little second of this, or a change of a trait in that, or an adjustment in an armor stat, all plays such a big part. And that's when spending hundreds of hours on this game funnels into a very specific play style or into a very specific character build, is because you can spread your wings as much as you possibly want with the way you can build and theory craft in this game. There's just not any other game that has it like Guild Wars 2. So I'm going to kind of explain that, go through it, how you can jump into it today, and we'll get started. So I'd also like to mention that Guild Wars 2 is built into two different PvP areas. There's a more fine-tuned and balanced area, which is their structured PvP. That works more like, I guess, just any League of Legends or any, you know, 5v5 capture points. And then there's World vs. World, which is just big-ass free-for-all, where there's 3 teams of 50, and that is just unlimited power. Things are totally broken in there. Some are not, some are meta, but because of that, the build crafting in World vs. World usually is a little bit nicer because you can really min-max and you can really push it. So like any other build crafting game, Guild Wars 2 does have a very simple skill tree builder. On top of that, it also has armor adjustments that are called runes, weapon adjustments that are called sigils, and then there's the trinkets, which also adjust your stats. We can just throw those in with armor. And then there's also relics, which affect certain attributes of your character. This could be healing, speed, damage, and that also goes into it. And then there's also weapons change the way the abilities work on your character. So some of them have more mobility than others. Some of them might have a little bit more healing. Some might be more tanky. Some might do more damage. So that also really comes into play when you're adjusting your build and theory crafting. And then on top of that, we have your ability utilities. So weapons always do the same thing on that specific character. So if you're playing a thief and you're using like a rifle, it'll always do the same thing across all the thieves with rifles. But then the utilities on the right is when you can really start to adjust. Those have anything from speed, health, teleportation, invisibility, invulnerability, stun breaks. Stun breaks is a huge one with this game because in a way it's like Mortal Kombat, where there's a combo system where within abilities you can like hit combos and stuff, which is also super unique, and that can go into your build crafting as well. But I'll kind of show you what I mean in an example right here. Okay, so I kind of want to explain how the theory crafting works a little bit for newer people. I did explain this in one of my last videos, but it can look kind of complex, I guess, if you're just looking at it the first time. It's actually super simple once you get the hang of it. What you're looking up here is just weapon skills, so that's just whatever sword, gun, spear that you're holding in your hand. And these are utilities, so these are things you can actually change around that'll change like the way that your character works. And then these are our traits. This is a skill tree. This is normal to New World, runes, in League of Legends. Every MMO has a skill tree, and you can just change these on the fly, right? If you want to remove any conditions, is like burning, poison, torment that someone puts on you, when I exit and enter stealth, it'll remove those. So that's a pretty good trait to have. We call that condition cleansing, and that's a really good one. This is kind of the way the build looks, and you can switch these around to the way your skill tree, like see, this one is remove conditions when you dodge. So instead of exiting stealth, and then of course like these change up a little bit. So this is what's kind of like the cool part of theory crafting. So this is like the stock standard one that normal people have. This is like, I would say, the meta, but because the meta changes so much when they change up new updates, you can actually change it around a little bit. So what I was doing is, instead of playing a build that looks like this, which is really playing off stealth, which is like being invisible, I switched it to something a little bit more power. So this is kind of what I was playing. I was playing something like this, and then I was running this. And what I just did there, oh, actually I should probably change this around too, and I should explain this as well. Okay, so let me explain this, and actually when I explain this, I'll use a pretty cool website. And this website, what's cool about this website is you can mimic exactly what's going on in the game, but just on this website. So if you're at work, you can like theory craft or something while you're at work, or even on your phone. So this is the build that we had before. So on this build, you have really good condition cleansing because you're coming in and out of stealth. You also have super speed when you come in and out of stealth, and then you also gain initiative, which is like points that a thief would spend for using an ability. I wanted more damage, and how am I going to get that? Well, I kind of was theory crafting, and I'm like, okay, how can I keep everything similar, maybe lose something but still have my damage? So if I switch out this shadow arts, I'm going to lose my condition cleanse, I'm going to lose my super speed, and I'm going to lose my initiative when coming in and out of stealth. This is kind of what I tried to do. I switched this to deadly arts, which is more damage when I use a steal ability. This is just straight up damage, essentially. This is just power, is just damage, and then use a stolen skill twice, which is also unique to thief, and I'll kind of explain for a warrior as well, or for like anything different. What I have lost here is I have lost my condition cleanse. So how am I going to get that back? I can condition cleanse with this signet, which is, it is this one. So I can conditions removed 3 when I press this, and I also get a little bit of my speed back if I run this. So now I have a oh, this isn't updated. Okay, well, they didn't update this website, but this is essentially what it is also here, I guess. So I have my condition cleanses on this. I also still have my condition cleanse here, and I actually have a little bit of speed, but I have lost, see, it says grants 25% movement speed, but I have also lost my super speed. So how am I gonna get that back? There's actually a relic I can throw in here. The relic I was running before was this, which is while under the effects of swiftness, your speed is increased by 66%. That's good if I'm just constantly kiting, but I want my super speed back. So there's a little bit of a relic here I can throw in that gives me super speed when I exit or enter stealth. This is kind of like a rough draft of the way the theory crafting works. So I can go, you know, this, if I get stunned, I can dodge. There's stuns in this game. So essentially someone can like root you in one place. Imagine like League of Legends when you get rooted. You can actually break out of those in this game, which is extremely important because it's a combo system game. So someone could put you in an unlimited combo system and you're going to want to break out of their stun.